Chris. So this book, for example, is
on a recycled paper.
yes.
Okay. And you can feel it because it's uncoated totally. Because you are in the photo.
Yes.
I think it's
Very good.
no more.
Yeah, and I said one.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see so much people here. Thank you so much for coming. My name is New. I will be a little bit moderator today that didn't know about topic anything at all. I think it will be interesting view for me, for you, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Also, thank you for coming. I'm co-founder of Cartiere, and let's listen to Olga, our curator and great person that made everything that you see here.
Thank you, New. So first of all, as a host of this event, I would like to introduce our speakers and tell a few words about what is happening actually here and what we're planning to do next hour and a half. My name is Olga Matveeva. This time I'm an independent publisher, and me and my colleague Evgenia Ignatova, we founded independent publishing platform Bookie Lab 5 years ago. And during these 5 years, we have been developing our skills, communications, network, whatever. And now it happened that now we are located in 2 countries. Evgenia is in Moscow, I'm here in Serbia, in Belgrade, and we continue working together, online together and offline separately. And whatever we do together or separately, we call the project of Bookie Lab. So, we work as an educational platform as well. So we provide artists who want to turn their project, photography or whatever artistic project, into photobook. We give basic knowledge how to make a layout, how to choose the correct format, paper, architecture of the book, which will fit the project and which could give new meanings and possibilities for expression, the artistic statement. That's it. So this is how we work, and as I'm here, I'm going to continue hosting events connected with photo books, inviting guests, colleagues, inviting to the dialogue, first of all. And this is the first discussion. To be honest, I was literally dreaming about this discussion for a few years, because this time we gathered all together, like specialists in really different fields, which are connected to photo bookmaking, artist bookmaking. So I would like to introduce my colleagues. Ivana Brezovac, artist, professor of photography, photographer, my friend. Ivana is a professor of Academy of Arts in Novi Sad for now, and even brought a lot of books to discuss. So as Andrea did. So Andrea is Muddolon.
My name is quite difficult, but yes, it's Muddolon.
Muddolon.
Yeah, but also in English they say Muddolon. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's Muddolon.
Yeah, it's better to say so. It's not so difficult. So Andrea Muddolon came from Italy to participate in this discussion. He is a representative of Garda paper company, and this conversation will be we had a chance to discuss briefly about what Andrea brought, and I know that they are planning to produce uncoated papers. I can't wait to collaborate. And Andrea brought a few books as well. You can see them here, there. So I guess now everything is mixed. Yes, but it should around, be. It should be like this. Jovana, Stevković, my friend and representative of Europapier, Dunav, my beloved company, paper company. So we print almost all our books with Europapier papers. Even now in Russia, we still have this representation of this company. Evgenia Ignatova, my colleague, graphic designer and an artist who makes photo books as well. And Evgenia lives here in Belgrade, and another person who is involved in this photo book making. So yeah, and here we have. Thanks to my colleagues, we have a lot of students and artists who are interested in this topic, professors, colleagues. So I'm really happy that we are here now in such an amazing company. And the last thing I wanted to say before we start is we tried as much as we could to make this discussion horizontal. So it doesn't matter that we are speakers and everybody keeps silence, of course. So please, I would like during all the conversation to exchange opinions. I would like you to ask questions if you have or give commands. You don't need to just to listen to us and look at us. You can read books. Luckily we have a lot. So let's start maybe. Does anybody wants to introduce themselves more widely, or
I just wanted to say thanks first of all for having me today. Just to rebrief everybody about me, my name is Andrea Muddolon, and I'm working with Cartiere del Garda, which is a paper mill. So all the paper that you see from my books has been produced by Cartiere del Garda in northern Italy, and it's been sold via Europapier in this area. I brought a lot of different books, and the books that I've been giving it to you today that you can have a look to are all books that have been actually produced by clients of Europapier. If you have any questions about the substrate and the paper that we've been using and the sort of techniques that I've been using later on, after we finish the discussion, we can go through. I just wanted to tell you something briefly as a first insight to for everyone, as an artist, as a photographer, or as a publisher. Remember that the substrate that I'm using is the most important part. Because you can have the most sensational pictures on a screen, but if you're unable to get the picture into the paper in the correct way, you can get something sensational or something really not too good. So take always good care of try to find the right substrate. It can be coated, uncoated, it can be colored, it can be white, off-white, but it's important that you from the screen up to the paper, you really focus into that. That it's a very important part of, it's the main topic, I would say. And later on, if anybody of you wanted to have a look to one of our paper, which is one of our actually favorite paper for me and my colleague Jovana, it's our Garda matte rough. Rough means roughness in terms of appearance. It has a slightly coated, but it's almost unfeeling. You won't really see it. But when you print on this paper, which it feels almost uncoated, the color are booming. The color are becoming quite nice, especially the black and white can get a depth and a very special three-dimensional effect. So I don't want to carry on too long. If anybody of you later on would like to discuss a little bit, we are more than happy to help you out. And thanks for the organization to have us today here. And a big applause for you guys.
Thank you.
Can I ask a stupid question? What is uncoated paper?
We should very quickly. You divided the paper. No, absolutely. It's a very. I was discussing with the professor at the university to say that we always go to teach at university, especially in the photography department or art department, to show how paper is made and what is the main differentiation between coated and uncoated. Uncoated paper is mainly a paper that comes out from a pulp and water, okay? And then this is basically it, and a little bit of chemicals that really create the essence of the paper. There is a procedure how to do it, but it's a quite long procedure, but it's just starting from 95% of water, 4% of pulp, and maybe 1% of chemicals. You take up the water and you create the paper. The paper itself, when you feel it, it feels it feels almost natural. Okay. Coated paper is the same, so you do the same procedure, but in the end, when you create the foil, the sheets, then you put on the top of it a little bit of a powder. It's a powder which is come from marble. It's a marble powder. It's called kaolin, and that gives you a good reflection. And when you print on, the actual effect look much nicer. That's it. In very short something that, but this is basically it. If I don't know if you got me, but yeah. And later on I can show you uncoated and coated paper, and also another product which is the Garda matte rough, which is not coated and not uncoated because the actual coating is inside the fibers of the pulp, so it's something unique. But we'll talk about that later.
Thank you. Yes, we will return to this question because I prepared something to discuss. So let's maybe start with introducing what is the photo book for each of us from the perspective of our profession and specificity of what we are doing. Maybe Ivana can start.
Photo books are of course very important for any school, any art school. I can say from my personal point of view, in my education, because I studied photography in Prague, in FAMU, we had to produce a lot of books, and quite differently from these days, because that was a long time ago, so the era of analog photography. And we had to do black and white photographs by ourselves, of course, and we had to bound the book by ourselves. I had to produce 7 books or 8 maybe during 5 years of studies, so that was obligatory, that was not an option. And I learned a lot while making those books, not just how to print the images in a darkroom and how to bound the book, but how to edit images, how to make a story, how to make a drama, thinking about the size, the format. There were always, students, poor students, so no money for cover for something that I want. So it was at the end very simple. And at that moment we've been using LECTA set, if you know what's LECTA set, So this is just a big LECTA set. Actually, it was. What it means? These are letters cut on a machine. So this is like a folio, and you give the file, and they cut. So you can buy like ready-made, but they are small. But if you want something like big, so you have to prepare it, and you send to the printing house, and they print it for you. So we had to do everything by our hands, manually. Even this is photographic paper as well. So there is nothing else in the book but photographic paper. So I'm just going to show a little bit. This is a story about trees, and it's not really important. So this is just one of the books. And for me, what's interesting that later on you can see if you want. Of course, I make photo books with my students, and not just with my students, with my colleagues as well. And I like this difference, this contrast between this book of mine that is so huge and massive, and this is a book of my student, my dear student, and it's a fabulous photo book. It's printed, it's Riso print. It's very simple print and very cheap, but she made a wonderful, wonderful small book for her last project.
With paperized?
Yes, with paperized. Yeah.
Wow.
And Riso print is very specific. It can print only 3 colors, and so it's like silk prints, something like that.
It's the beginning of the history of paper. Apparently, it's like with the spaghetti. They always say, is that the Chinese or the Italian that made it? The same with the paper. Is it really the Chinese who invented the paper with the paperized, or the Europeans, like for instance in Fabriano in central Italy, there is one of the oldest paper which was actually created there in that area. So there is always a debate. So it's a very old style, and it's excellent,
simple.
very simple and very excellent. Yeah.
And I like it that it's so simple. So my point is that the book does not have to be so big and heavy and so dramatic. Okay, my project was dramatic, and this project was not dramatic. But really, book can look like this, like like a sketchbook or something like that. And she printed just, I think, 10 copies. And what I like the most is the cover. She made it by herself, and she sewed the title of the book by herself. So it's really that every piece of the book is completely unique. If the question was my point of view, because I'm a professor, it's quite interesting how things changed from this very, very heavy work. You can imagine a lot of hours in a dark room, and it's not easy to make this book and to look so nice even after, I don't want to say it, 25 years or something like that ago. But I learned a lot. But now it's so easy to make any kind of book, any size. So many papers, so many different kinds of printing, that I can say that I'm sorry that here in Serbia we don't have developed a market of photo books, and that in general as an art book, photo books are not developed. And I'm very thankful to you that you came to live here and that you started this story, because I really think we need this. And this is going to be very helpful to the whole community, and I'm really looking forward for the future of photo book in Serbia.
We're slowly moving to the right direction, I guess.
Yes.
Thank you.
Maybe I can just show one more. This is also the work of my student, so it can be a very traditional book, and I don't know. Maybe it's something in between this my book and this book. It's print, of course. It's a digital print. She also made like 10 copies. But this is a perfect business card. It's much better than any other business card that you can give to somebody. You make a book and you carry the book with yourself. You go to festivals, you go to museums, galleries, of course, or another exhibitions, whatever. You meet people and you just say, you see, I'm an artist or a photographer. Do you want to take a look? This is my book. And immediately the whole perspective about you and your work is different on much higher level.
Can we give it to audience?
Yes, of course.
That would be amazing.
So you
there is one interesting story, actually adorable story behind my and Jovana's acquaintance. So once I came to Europapier to literally recognize which paper I chose for the printing of this book. Because the plan was to order as much papers as possible, which are available in Belgrade last summer. And I made proofs on each paper I liked. And I'm still using it in my working processes. So I have it with me all the time and I can choose whatever I need. And one of the papers were quite outstanding. And it was without any marks, any names, and I was like, I want this paper for this book. And I came to Europapier and I met Jovana. I didn't expect that I will meet Jovana. I could meet somebody else. And we started, and Jovana asked me, okay, for what are do you need this Lanur paper? And I explained, I showed some photos of the project, some fragments of the layouts, and Jovana asked me, and then Jovana, tell me the story. What happened with the book?
Then I asked her if she would lend us a book to present it at Frankfurt Book Fair. The Europapier has each year a stand there, and each country, because we exist in 12 countries in Europe, can bring a few books to represent our country and our artists, and we choose this one because it's really a special story behind it, and the paper is really specific, and the whole concept is with the book lab and the book and everything behind it, it's exceptional, and I think this was the best presentation of ours there, and it was really noticeable. And also the colleague from Slovenia for their book fair, which I didn't mention you, borrow it, and
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
okay. So the book is circling now the Europe, and hopefully the visibility will be much higher, and that artists and will recognize the book lab, and here community also, as the professor said, to bring it in the higher level and to promote it and to do more like these things, and to print more and enjoy it afterwards.
And I would say this book community all over the world is so small in a good sense, because, for example, when we were sitting in my apartment with Jovana and looking books and discussing books, we realized that both of us know, for example, Hannes Wanderer from Pepperoni Books.
Of course.
He was my teacher. He was the person who brought me to the world of the book. Yes, so just
needed
amazing.
to connect
Yes.
ourselves in this kind of way, yeah.
Yeah, so
And for me, sorry, I just wanted to say, because I'm coming from merchant perspective, and we are just, for our first view, we are just selling. They are producing paper, you are producing arts, and I'm just somebody who will deliver the paper for it. But having this kind of connection with the artist is really gives sense to my job. So thank you all for doing these great things.
Like as a resume on that, I would say this book also is a photographer from Hungary, and he was presented at the book messe in last year, and he's been using our first paper that we were mentioning earlier. Is not uncoated, but is not coated, but it feels uncoated, and we call it pigmented. So we met the photographer. He was actually there. Later on, you can have a look to it. It's a photographer of nature mainly. He stayed for 365 days on the Lake Balaton with his photo camera, and he created 365 pages of this book, and always from the same angle. You could see the same Lake Balaton in different time of the year. So sometimes, as she said, you meet the people and then you get connected and then eventually something come up and it can be at the end exhibited at in an exhibition in Frankfurt, and it was both in Europapier Hungary and also at Cartiere del Garda, because Cartiere del Garda at Bookmesse we have a booth actually opposite to Europapier. So there you go. I mean, sometimes, that's why I'm also here, because from connection you can make always something unique and marvelous most of the time. Sorry to interrupt you.
No. It's a discussion. I just wanted to say that Andrea and Jovana brought some samples of papers, which is important. I already let it circle.
But not to mix. This is different.
This is different.
Yeah.
Yes. So I would like to put another part to circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also Favini, they are one of my favorites because they are also interesting. I'm not working for them, but I have to say that they are doing extremely nice, unique papers.
Absolutely. As for papers, it should be. Zhenya.
Sorry. Hi. If speaking about where a book starts, right? For me as an artist and now also designer for photo books, it starts from the meaning. Like all of this stuff that you just mentioned, everything with the paper, everything with the size of a book, the way how you're going to compose it, the location of a picture on the page. Everything starts from the idea that you want to present with the book, and that's why, like, for me, the most important part is an idea. For you, because you work with paper, the most important part is a paper. And I think that for artists, when we are working with photo book, the most important is the whole book.
A book, of course.
This is like, and then you don't know when you start it and when you do the first one, you don't know all of the details. You don't know how to choose the paper. You don't know what it is uncoated, coated, how to do how to divide it in SMIC, how to make anything in design, like basically the first step. But then, while going the whole way with the first book, for me, the most important part for artists in that is the production process. You need to learn all of that by yourself. You can't just put it on someone else. Even though there is, like, me personally, I do this for other artists, but I honestly think that it is important to participate at least. You can't just order the book to be done by someone else, otherwise it won't be your meanings.
What is in your consideration the solution for example, young artist who has a project and he knows nothing about bookmaking but wants to make a book? Which steps should the artist do? Because, well, I know I have my own opinion and experience, but I think this topic is it will never lose its importance. So let's start again to discuss it. Probably, yeah. So, which first steps needs to be?
Well, I would say sequencing. This is the very, very beginning. You need to know what exactly do you want to do and how are you going to get to this point. But then I would also say that it's important to put it in a physical form as fast as you can, to see pictures while you're sequencing them, not only in a digital form, but to print it and to see them in print.
So you're talking about dummy?
Not specifically about dummy. You can just print pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know yet how it's going to look.
Mm-hmm.
You can just print pictures itself to put them on the wall, right? To order the sequencing, how you're going to make it. Then to put it on the page to see how much of space it will take. the picture itself, and then only to get to some kind of dummy. It could be like, as by me, I honestly think the dummy could be made by hands. It doesn't matter how it will be produced, if it's like something that you can I mean, you don't need to print it in a typography. You don't need to go and make it like nitty. It is absolutely fine to print it on any home printer. It could be black and white, even if you have a colored pictures, because when you just want to see the shape of a book, right, just to see how it works, because not always it works the same in the digital format and the physical presence.
Absolutely.
I think it's the right time to invite everybody for Zhenia's workshop this Friday at our place. And I think we really try to make some photo designs, like right here, right now, in what we will have.
Yeah.
And maybe you have to add something about this.
Well, yes, I completely agree with what Zhenia said, and I would just add that a good option is for an artist to go to the bookshop, for example, bookstore, to look at the books which they really like. So to try to feel the book, how it looks in hands, to touch it, to see which size and format of the book you really like, you personally, and then to take a decision about your own concept you want to bring into the book process. Does it fit this size you like? Does it fit, for example, the papers you like? Mm-hmm. For example, first, one of the first things we propose our students and colleagues who participate in Bookie Lab to do is to go to the paper shop, just to intuitively just to touch papers and to take some samples of papers. Well, here in Serbia, you have amazing option to do it in Europapier, of course. Well, it's like a win-win situation. Yes, and then slowly to make, as Zhenia mentioned, to make samples, to make prototypes, to even when you make a perfect sophisticated layout in InDesign program, for example. So in my consideration, InDesign it's really easy thing to deal with. Like, but even me, Zhenia, Ivana, whoever who work with this program can't be sure how it will look in a real life. And for this reason, as Zhenia mentioned, it doesn't matter how the prototype looks. It can be made, how to say, just on labs. It can be made in copy center. It can have a sophisticated shape. For example, this one is the dummy of Sasha's book. Sasha is very into exploring one of the books or papers, but this is Sasha's book. So yeah, and he made it by himself. And actually, so it's Leporello format, really long and yeah, not easy. It was not easy to handle. Yes, but what I wanted to say. Yes, and now, for example, he got a dummy. Sasha, maybe you could share your experience briefly, because I know that you mentioned that you want to make a print run a bit differently. And why you came to this idea after making dummy?
Yeah, I can tell something about it. Saying that when I made this version of dummy, I understand that it's pretty hard to use it, and for first, and for second, it's pretty hard to produce it because it's it seems maybe not so like expensive book, but it was really expensive. And if you want to make a print of some copies, if you wanted to, you will lose every month. I think make the second edition of this because I really like the Liberal, the accordion fold, and I think that it really worked with my project. But in this size, I think it's really hard to use it. And I think to make it more smaller, to make it possible to use it like some not big book, but with with the option to open two or more pages in one time, because now it's pretty hard to open one wide page. So it was hard to make it because I started when I was in Tbilisi, and in Tbilisi it was pretty hard to find some typography who want to work with small edition books, and I make a dummy with copy centers, and the quality of printing was really bad because I had like a black and white photograph, and book was really dark, and it was like so hard feeling about these dummies, and I said, oh, I'm so depressed. But now it became more soft, more open, and more they had more breeze in it, and it's not so heavy as I think about it before. So I want to make the second edition, which will be like little bit smaller, little bit easier, little bit cheaper, and that's it.
Thank you, Sasha.
For whom don't understood the word dummy, it's me. It means not more than 50 copies of the book.
It's like a prototype. Right?
Oh, okay, you know more. It's just Evgenia explain me.
I mean, you could actually do something very similar with a special binding. So if you go to some typography, they might be able to do it. You won't be able to open it as such, but you can have the actual pages in half as this one. So it's not going to be the same, but similar. And with that, you're probably going to get half of the cost. So it can be done.
Yeah. And another problem it was that if you want to make it like really long and really really, I don't know how to call it, but you should print in one piece of paper and work with it. But in this condition, I was need to glue glue pages, and it was not so good because you can make a lot of mistakes with it. But if you want to use plotter to make it a really long white page, so it can be much more difficult because not every paper have like a roll type. So you should
We're talking about this book.
Choose another paper that you can, not what you want, but what you can. So in here I use Europapier paper, pure cotton, absinthe, and it's really good. But I need to use a lot of glue, a lot of Składki.
Folding.
Folding, yeah.
There's actually a very nice moment because many of artists, when we started to make a book, we think about the book, the ideal book that we would see. We never think about how we're going to produce it, and then we're like, oh, so I'm going to have like book with that size, and then on the production you're like, no, you're not, and then you're thinking I'm going to have this folding, and then the budget, no, you're not going to have it.
Yeah.
That's it. And then you can't actually think through, because in a different typographies you will receive different answers on the same request, and every time you send this huge descriptional email to the typography, and they answer in like two different like complete replies with all of the requirements that you need to follow in order to be printed there, with the price also it could be significantly different, and it is, I think I get to the point that I think that it is impossible to think about it in the very beginning. The only thing that you can do is not to do the ridiculous stuff, or to be ready to do ridiculous stuff with the ridiculous consequences.
No, it just came to my mind recently on one of the Wiki Lab meetings with our colleagues and students. One lady sent us InDesign package. I opened the layout, and first of all I went to the size of the document, and I asked her the question, are you really sure that you want your book to be 90 centimeters? Are you sure? And she said, oh, it didn't come to my mind.
Yeah.
So another referred to making dummies, prototypes, and working with hands. Another example, if you don't mind me speaking, can I take this book just for a second? So this is it's not a photo book, it's an artist book by one of the artists who live here in Belgrade. I made as a designer the whole book, and for me, well, it's not my first book, as you can guess. For me to make this flag pretty, so it was not easy, and to make calculations how it should
Folded.
Yes, how it should how it should be folded perfectly, not to let glue on the fold or on the neighbor page, and how should it be included to the whole construction of the book. So I really made. I was modeling by my hands. I was literally drawing pictures. Like, okay, on this side it should be these four images, then these images, then what will happen when I turn the page, and how should I make this, so everything is made manually, and this is the only way. I have a lot of examples. I will show you another one.
This is actually a nice thing when you text into the publishing space where you're going to print all of that.
Yes, of course.
And then you send in the layout, and if you have something that is a bit different from the usual book, it is the best option to send them video of dummy of how you're going to fold it, or what are you expecting actually, how you're going to make it, what is the final result. Because then it is like a joke with the IT guy, right? That when you say that you just need to put a knife and put a peanut butter on the bread, right? You can do this with a gazillion of different variations of how. And it is exactly what would happen if you will not specify what you want to
Absolutely.
receive.
Unfortunately, the artist is not here, but he lives in Serbia. This is a dummy as well, and I remember our conversation during the laboratory. So he was asking from week to week the same question. Can you explain me how to make the layout of the lab?
The fiber direct.
And we replied the same thing every time. And he actually got offended in the end. So we replied, make the prototype with your hands, because it's impossible to explain it, even for us. It's impossible for us to see it like in imagination. Do it. And after he finally, after a few months, did this prototype with hands, just from the paper, folded it by himself, he could manage this really sophisticated layout of the book. So it's, unfortunately, he's not here. Vlad Jakubowski, he's not here. He would share his experience. I think it's time to come to move closer to a very important topic about digital print and offset print.
And prices.
And pricing, yes. So I can start and then let the discussion yes. Yes.
Luckily, the printers are not here. So.
The printers are not here, so
Yeah.
you can almost sort of say something. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can say that I can explain, for example, Bookie Lab's model of working. We publish, and if somebody says that we're not publishers because we don't invest our money, I will
Kill him.
Yes, probably yes, because we do all the circle the publisher does, and we help people to do it even after collaboration with us by himself, because he has all the knowledge after, if he wants. We work with small editions, small runs. Our runs are from 10 to 100 copies. From 10 to 100, really.
Maximum.
Yes. We can do maybe once. We can start doing bigger runs, but the situation is that everything is funded by artists, and only artists can decide how many copies he wants to print and what is the purpose of the book. It's another question, of course. So most of our artists produce books for exhibiting, for contests,
Yes.
for collectors. This is what we are doing, because we work around contemporary art, and for us, for our consideration, the book is the form of exhibition space, which the same way as the space of the gallery or a museum, which works as a form of representing of the project. And another thing, once we even had an experience with my colleague Evgenia, to discuss what would be if we try to invest our money to start investing and become publishers who make money on distributing. Yes. And after 30 minutes of discussing, just 30 minutes, we came to conclusion that we started to discuss how to reduce prices. And we don't want to do this, because we work with perfect materials, perfect constructions, yet they are complicated, sophisticated, okay. They are hard to make. Half of our books are partly handmade, but they make sense. It's a statement, and we don't want to produce books just to produce books. So this is our consideration, and for this reason, the most pointed question for us is how to get the best quality in digital printing. Because digital printing gives limitations, but we still work with digital printing. That's why, for example, Jovana brought, I asked Jovana to bring these uncoated papers, recycled papers, which I really like to use as a publisher. I'm so happy when Andrea mentioned that they got that rough papers.
Yeah. We also have 100% recycled coated paper that you can see a book later on, or some of you can see it, and the result that you're getting on printing also on digital is sensational, so you could really use it without any problem. And to all of you, if you're using coated paper on digital, you usually get much nicer results. That's the reality of it.
Yes, but okay. What do you mean? What's in your consideration better results?
No, I mean in terms of when you're talking about colored pictures, usually you have much more depth, deeper colors,
yes.
Not only but also a two-dimensional effect on the picture itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, I also like uncoated paper, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And this rough, that as we mentioned earlier, for us it's is something that is in between.
Yeah.
It's not coated, it's not uncoated.
But gives the
Results of a coated paper. So, and surely someone who wanted to approach just at the beginning, with this kind of paper, you got a nice result.
Yes. And we are constantly in the search of the best solution. For example, we already, a little bit before the discussion, we had a chance to discuss how bad it is that there is no HP Indigo, Hewlett-Packard Indigo machine here. Actually, there is one, but it's not accessible. Yes.
What is that machine? What is that machine?
It's in Službeni glasnik, the state company, who prints textbooks for.
Probably the 10,000.
And that's a digital printing press.
The differentiation when you're talking about digital. Is like talking about offset. I mean, in digital you have a lot of different possibility of printing. The major two differentiation, or three, I would say you have toner based, which is what they're using at present. HP Indigo is using a total different mentality. I mean, total different techniques. Is using what they call it electric ink. What that means? The actual ink that penetrated into the paper stay on the top. And so you have a slightly, if you look on the microscope or with the paper and the printing, you will see that there is a little tiny gap. So the actual ink stays on the top, but you won't see with your eyes. And in that respect, Indigo, we can get to the closest effect that you could get with an offset paper. When you're using, on the other hand, the other techniques, which is usually almost like a photocopy, to be honest, because you're using a powder. It's not a very refined liquid. So the powder stays, I mean, it fades a little bit. So the result that you're getting on the printing is not as it could be with Indigo, which is very similar to the offset.
Okay.
Offset printing gives you almost the same quality that you're getting on the photography paper.
Yes, I really can't wait to make moves on your paper. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Another example of HP Indigo and the quality of printing. Nice to see. Yes, and maybe Ivana, maybe you can ask the question about this financial part.
Yeah. If I'm a student, my first question would be, how much does it cost to make a book like some of those that you showed it you created. For example, like Sasha's book, it's quite a big one and massive with a lot of pages, but we saw some books over there with quite small and simple bounding, soft bounding. So can you, just some price range, let's say? And we had a good discussion, if you remember, about the book that was here, you know, with the nice covers with the snake skin.
Yes, The Garden of Earthly Delights, the pink book.
You said that the author made immediately like 10 copies, something like that. So the price was 15. So the price was lower. But the production of the book was not so perfect, and then the author was not so happy about it. But then another author made a small book, just one piece that costed 100 euros, but the book is excellent. So like that's the question: do you want to have an excellent prototype that costs, let's say, 100 euros or maybe even more, or you want to have 15 prototypes that you are not very happy about, but they costed less, but all together the sum is even more. So you get it, you know?
You can also get like the 50 copies and it will be awesome, and then you can get one that would look like you just made it by your hands, drunk and at night. And then you never know actually, because even with the same publishing space, you can get so much different results. We have so much stories about one place in Moscow that is printing like sometimes good, sometimes bad. You know, you never know.
But there should be some way how to do it. Like, let's say you recommend that this is the way to do it. So
I would say the most important rule for the artist who makes a book is to make a perfect signal book, and most of the times it costs. For example, one book in the print run can cost, for example, 30 or 40 euros, but signal will cost 150 euros. It's okay. So pay this money, get a signal, and then make proofs with the printer, and better in how to say
Instructions.
in the written form. Yes, in written form, and then leave this signal at the printer until you get the round. Because if you don't do this, you will never get your money back. You will never have any solutions for solving the problem, because it's like a document. The same thing is with color proofs. You should make as much color proofs as you need to get the perfect result. Moreover, for example, if I had recently had a story with this book. Can you just please show it to everybody with this book? Yes. So we, you will never believe, we printed it for 7 months. 7 months, because everything was perfect. Then we made a break. Then a printing company bought some new equipment, and all the color proofs we made, just we could throw them away, and we started from the beginning, and then from the beginning. And it's another tip how to work correctly. So first you make perfect color proof. In classical how to say, classical style of work, you can even put a sign and the date to this proof, and you leave it in the printing place. Then you leave a signal in the printing place, and then you can expect good results. Yes.
Unfortunately, not always receive good results.
Yes, but expect. But another thing, we should be ultra patient with each other, with everybody who is included in the process of bookmaking, because everybody can make a mistake. We are humans. And if the printer can't immediately make your super small run because you need it. You should understand that printing house earns money not with your artbooks, and you should be patient. And for example, everybody, all the artists who comes to the printing house to print a book, they should make first of all deadlines for themselves. If you need to print the book for the participating in the contest or exhibition, plan it in such a way to get the final copy 1 month, at least 1 month before that deadline. It's your inner deadline. Because if something goes wrong, and unfortunately in 70% something will go wrong, because it's a very live process, you will have time. So I would like you colleagues, dear colleagues and guests, to join to this discussion and ask questions.
We have half an hour for questions, 3 questions. Maybe you have something about printing or making, or you're an artist and wanted to start your own project.
But I just wanted to ask everybody something in general. When you're thinking of the substrate of paper that, you know, from your pictures you wanted to put into paper, have you ever thought about the tone of the color of the paper?
Of course.
Yeah, and do you know how many tones you have?
It's a very good topic. Can you please?
No. I mean, I'm not going to. I mean, the things about Europapier and Cartiere del Garda, with our coated paper, the basic coated paper, we also have three colors. We have the off-white, the white, the milky white, and we have the ivory, the creamy. I mean, we really have a possibility of differentiation in colors that really, that can really give you almost a similar perspective that you could get with an uncoated paper.
Yeah, and when you mentioned about the process of making and choosing the paper, we recently did one book, and the photograph did some pictures of California. And it's a lot of yellow colors of the sun and sand and mixture. And they really did the trials on, I think, 5 different shades of paper. It's mostly the things that we are presenting here now. Garda Pat, we have the ivory, Chiara, Classic, and Bianca, and Conda Perigord, which different shades of whites. And they did the trials, and after that they decided, the artist decided on
which one he wanted.
Yeah, because the same picture in 5 different shades, it's a different picture from the artistic point of view.
Like maybe earlier on, there were not everybody here, but I brought a book of Salgado. Salgado died last Friday, so I thought it was a good commemoration for all of us. He's one of the best photographers of this century. He's someone who was standing not only as a photographer but also as a for the nature, for the people, for the industries, for everyone. Salgado came to Cartiere del Garda and he wanted to pick up a special color. We had a paper, he liked the colors, but he didn't like the actual gloss, the sort of finishing. So we've been creating, and there is a book there, a special paper which for him, but also which is available for everyone nowadays, to create all these sensational books that he made, and you can see it there.
So the name of this paper?
It's Garda Premium Natural. Premium Natural, why? Because it's natural. It's got a premium white natural color.
Oh.
And we have that color on Garda Part 13 Chiara.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how sometimes pick up the right color makes such a difference. And his results, he wanted to have what we call it the passepartout effect. When you're going to see the book, you will notice that the picture seems to stand up and you have what we call it passepartout effect. There is no passepartout. You know what passepartout is? It's a sort of a corniche around, and you have it just basically with the printing only, because he wanted it quite the black and white, quite glossy printing, and then that's what he really wanted to have. So since 15 years, he's only been using Taschen. He's only using our paper for that.
Amazing.
And also, it's accessible in Europapier. If anybody wants to try, I mean, they can buy 1 ream or 2 reams, and they can have it.
Yeah, it's possible.
I have one idea. I can't see my colleague Dasha Karitnikova. Does anybody see Dasha Karitnikova outside? The tall lady. Because Dasha Karitnikova.
Do you want to ask?
Yes, I want to ask her to share her experience, because she's the best example of artists who works now with Photohof, and they are printing a big run of her book. And she is now in a crazy mess with preparations.
Yeah.
And I would like her to share her experience. And I know that she must be here because she is filming us, actually. And she disappeared. So there. Okay. So I hope she will come back. Maybe somebody could call her on the phone, if it is possible.
She is now working at her book through the call.
Okay. So
Maybe she come back.
yes, she will definitely come back.
And we can continue this topic.
Perhaps I can ask a question. So you mentioned when you were discussing one of the small books that it wasn't a photo book but an artist.
Yes.
Whereas to an untrained eye, perhaps the difference would not be as obvious. What do you mean? Where does the line go for you between a photo book and an artist book, if it's made of photos, basically?
Well, thank you for the question. Well, to be honest, I was very excited when I got this challenge to make an artist book. Well, photography, first of all, photography is not only a piece of art, it's a medium, very utilitarian medium. So photography is a medium of documentation. So we use photos, but not as an art, but as lovely documentation of her works in different other mediums. So for me, it's I don't have any dissonance. For me, the most exciting challenge was to, I would say, translate one medium of art into other. For example, I can show a few examples. I already showed. Oh, it's a shame again then that the artist is not here. So this is 2 series of objects and paintings. So we represented it this way. But for example, this is the way how we presented in the book format the video work. And for me, it's just, wow, it's possible to do it. And this is another thing we should keep as artists. We as artists should keep in our mind that when we put our visual statement in the form of photo book, we should be ready for transformations.
Ready for what?
Transformations of your work. And here is Dasha. Can you come to us, please, and share us your experience with working with Photoshop and the printing process of the big run of printing.
So right now, deeply in the process, that's why I was absent for like 20 minutes, trying to reach the color corrector to make sure we're making it yeah, to make sure we are making it right with the paper chosen. Unfortunately, it was not the Italian one; it was Muddolon.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But they should have the paper profile, no? They should,
Sure,
yeah.
yeah, but it's not only the paper profile because we are in the printing process.
Oh, already.
Yeah, there's the hugest problem is with the profile of the printing machine. And the issue was that the printer didn't share the exact profile of his machine. He shared only the one that he uses with like regular clients. And it's something that doesn't work with my pictures.
Of course.
Yeah, so when you come, the basic advice that I can give, that's the first book I'm making with a publisher.
Yeah.
And offset. And basic advice I could give here is to come to the printer directly, I mean physically, because emailing doesn't work in this case.
No.
And to make as many proofs as you can, and you need to put all the proofs in the budget before you start.
Yeah, of course. And also be there and sign them.
Yeah, and then to be in the printing process when you print the book, like not only the proof, but when you because they're keeping telling me, the publisher keeps telling me that I need to come for the actual printing process.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and then you sign it. But yeah, and you need to have a good color corrector, and it's better when you have like a printing manager.
Yeah.
Not to like be absent while making a video like today.
Yeah.
Because now I'm the manager who connects like the color corrector and the printer, who is more like a printing manager in his company, and he's not like in the set.
Of course. I mean, what I wanted as a resume for someone who hasn't printed before, usually what's happened, we were talking about coated and uncoated. Usually with an uncoated paper, you get quite a lot of troubles because you have to use some special ink that dries and they do in a certain way when you're using the offset. If you're using coated paper on the other way, it's usually slightly easier. The ink and the color separation works quite well. It's not that difficult usually. But it can happen, like we were mentioning earlier on, a paper like I told you, I have a paper which is a novelty, it's not coated, it's not uncoated. And I was telling, do you have the paper profile? This paper, which is not coated and is not uncoated, so you have to get the printing machine to be set for that kind of paper. You need to have the sort of dictionary that you install into the printing machine that knows how to work it out. We do have it, and each paper should have the ICC profile, which is the actual color separation and the way how the paper the printing machine should work on that special paper. Did that make sense?
Yeah. And does it matter if you print black and white or color, or it's the same?
With the colors, it's going to be more difficult, but also in the black and white, because in the black and white, sometimes it can happen that it doesn't dry. So, especially in when you're using uncoated paper.
Yeah, because in my project there are different types of pictures. There are black and white, color, and some archive too, and. The main issue now is with black and white, they appear to be really flat. And then the printer said we'd better print in SMIC. And the publisher is very concerned about SMIC because then you get tone, maybe. Yeah, so be careful with that, guys.
Duotone is a solution. Duotone is a solution for black and white. You should print them actually to have a best result is a dual tone. So it's black and white, and the second tone is tone you choose. The second tone can be gray. It doesn't have to be specific, but can be like bluish gray, reddish gray, whatever you want, yellowish gray. But that adds the depth and blackness. So you don't mess with channels that if you don't have opacity. I don't know in English, you know.
On the ratings or on the dots.
The dots. It's almost impossible to have it perfect, you know. But in dual tone, you can really control your images, and it's a nice thing that you can have a specific tone if you want, you know. So it's like the black and white tone images a long time ago in a life.
That's what the publisher told me, but then you need to make sure that the printer is ready to collab.
Collab or that,
Yeah, if they're
That's
like,
why it should be there.
yeah.
You have to be there 24/7. No, there is no other option. You know, I've been printing a magazine. It's a commercial stuff, a magazine, and I've been in a printing house 24/7. From the moment they start printing, you know, I've been signing
the first to the last page.
To the last page, you know, because they have those machines. They measure, you know, and they keep looking at numbers, you know. But I'm telling them, my eyes are for sure better than numbers, you know. And you need your eyes for your photographs, because you're the only person who knows how your photographs should be. And no numbers can tell you that.
That's a pity that we don't have this wonderful woman from Grid here, because one of my colleagues said that her publisher told her that it's very complicated, even in Europe where there are a lot of photo books coming. It's very hard to find a printing house that is ready to work with photographers, because it's kind of
It is
monsters.
Yes, that's why I would like to.
We have questions
I would
from
like to
audience.
follow up on your comments about the black and white photography, and also on your original book that you worked on at FAMU. You said that those were photography papers. Do you mean that these are actual, are these analog prints? So you printed the book using an enlarger and analog technology, so you had complete control as the artist over every single print. That's incredible. Does anyone still... I mean, I shoot analog film, and this is the way that I would prefer to make my book, you know, like with my own enlarger.
By the way, so is Dragon did.
At that time, it was analog time. We don't have digital printing.
At the time,
I was around. In fact, I was at FAMU in 1997 at the same time that you were there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's that
What did you do?
Video.
So you were in 3F? You were in 3F program?
I was in like a program or a summer program.
A summer program.
Yeah, only a summer program. Not as you know, highly esteemed as your program. But anyway, this is so interesting to me that this is a completely different idea, and I'm
But this is the best way to learn analog printing, because you have to make them all the same. They have to be the same contrast, the same tone. You know, they just have to be the same.
And each piece is truly
It's very difficult to find nowadays.
Sorry,
that paper anymore, because they don't do it anymore.
Have to do the same. Why don't you embrace the randomness? Why don't you use handmade paper? Why don't you use hand printing?
How you mean handmade paper and hand printing? This is hand printing. This is lab printing. Darkroom, classical darkroom.
Then why not handmade paper?
You cannot.
It's easier and cheaper and faster, and you're in school and you have a lot of assignments, a lot of obligations, and you have to produce a book plus many other projects. So there is no time for
to show them out.
hand-coated
It's
paper.
possible, because
It's possible.
Pharma produce emulsion. You can put this emulsion on any kind of surface.
Which
So it's up to you to make
did.
these experiments, you know.
Yeah, we did, but but we did not put it on paper.
Yeah.
We put it on a wall, on fabrics, on stone, on glass, on many other. But you know, the schools look different in our age. You know, they forced you to learn the right way. First you learn the right way, then you do whatever you want, you know. I am for it still, because I don't think it's so good that now everything is possible and let's start from the experiment. No, let's start from the
basic.
From the basic, from what's good, and that you can control your result. Because I think the control is very important. And then you can play, and then you can break all the rules and tear everything apart and do whatever you want. But first, learn the simple rule, you know, and then you're a master of the universe. That's my opinion, and that's the way I still.
You're a professor in your
teach. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
But you know, as like babies, they like schedule. Then they're happy when they do have the schedule.
Yeah.
You know, if you leave them to do whatever they want, they get confused. You know, this is the same with students. Then gradually, you have, you know, like first-year students. If you tell them, you can do whatever you want, they don't know what to do. But then in third, fourth year, you tell them, you can do whatever you want. To be honest, they are still confused, but more brave to try and to really do something. Can I just add something, because I want to show a terrible book. Because we are all talking about
Can
wonderful.
I make an introduction?
Yes, of course.
Because actually I used to start my lectures and speeches and photo book course with explanation that we don't make photo books just to make photo books. It's not a purpose. It's not a purpose. If you realize that the photo book form can widen your statement, for example, okay, do. If not, and yes, and now.
Yeah, this is the example of how you can ruin the work of a fantastic photographer and world famous photographer, and in my opinion, one of the best photographers ever. And this is just thank you for this introduction. You make a book just to make a book, and then somebody unfortunately will buy it because it's wrapped in a folio, you know, and you cannot open it. Okay, I got it from Prague because I asked for it, and okay, I couldn't say anything. Starting from the cover, this is like jak se kaže umrlica? That's certificate. That's certificate. You know those papers. It looks like that. The tone of the picture is terrible. It's not the right one. Okay, Sudek was he did toning of his images, but this is not the correct toning. Here, everything is bad. The paper
The margins.
Margins are not the same.
It runs.
Sorry?
It runs, you know.
Yes.
Hair dynamics change.
Look at this. Terrible printing, terrible design, terrible paper, different toning of images. I don't know what else to say, but look at this. So you can.
I don't know how to go in English that classified.
How much you pay for it?
35.
Как на
Milos product from.
No, okay, numbering.
He didn't know it was in folio, you know, and when I opened it, I think I cried. Yes.
I was crying as well.
I really like Josef Sudek. So, for example, if you don't know, who knows Josef Sudek here?
Everybody.
Not everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Not everybody. So, for example, I show you the book of Josef Sudek, this one, and what do you say?
Shame on him.
Nothing. You say nothing. You don't like it. But then I bring you another book, an excellent book. Unfortunately, I bought it, This one costed 35 euros, and the one I really like costed 100 euros. But it's worth every cent, not euro, but every cent. So and this is like probably circulation of 500, 1,000 or something like. This is like regular commercial publishing, and it's really.
It's for curious, you know.
Sorry?
It's for curious.
They can't do something like that. They're national treasure, because Josef Sudik is national treasure of Czech Republic, you know, and they can't do something like that. So things can. Sorry.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
We should. Yeah, we should
It's
check with our
somehow
colleagues.
it's related for him, or it's just somebody decided, some publisher decided.
He died in 75, so we can't say.
I just said that I don't know.
No problem. So he died a long time ago, and this is analog photography, traditional
Question
photography.
about these big names, for example, František Drtiko, which is
I don't have
the same period, but anything which is published from that author, maybe you heard about him, it's under control of family of one guy who is about his heritage controlling. This is
better.
strange for me as well.
Yeah, it is
But
very strange.
Sudik was published in many ways, different ways. You know, with the different options, it's nothing so strange. You know, it's a pity. Of course.
But in the same time, it's popularization of his work. Even though it is shitty one, still it is like the price, right? When you compare 35 and 100, not everybody will buy the photo book that costs 100 euros. Like you need to be really into that. You need to be really interested. Otherwise, you're buying this or some other
Just like a souvenir.
books. Yeah. Just
Buy
like
postcards. I always say do it nicely and then do some postcards.
Yeah.
So just, you know, you can diversify. Someone
Because this is still not cheap. I would
No.
not say.
I'm not saying that it's somehow
maybe
good.
like
It's just
40,
something
35,
that
40
probably
euros.
35.
Yeah.
helps.
It's still not cheap for,
No, cheap, yeah.
for something like that.
Yeah, if you think about the entrance of it, it's gonna be like 15 euros to enter the gallery plus 50 euro, and not everybody will be able to access that. So, yeah, well,
But really terrible.
Unfortunately, we have slowly to move to the end of this official part of discussion. Yes, official, because we need to be respectful to our guests and speakers.
To our host.
Yes. Yes, but we are ready here to continue. For example, conversation, drinking wine.
Yeah, we have.
Sorry, I will invite everybody. But let's for example, I don't know, a few questions from the audience. Or maybe somebody of speakers would like to say something to finalize our conversation, because we can speak endlessly.
of course.
Yes, and to be honest, I prepared it's from myself and my colleagues a huge list of questions, but
We did not answer.
we did not even rise.
But it was quite optimistic to say that we would.
Yes. Well, but I usually get prepared for whatever. So, do you have questions? Any questions?
Any questions? Nice. I have a question. If you're not an artist like a photographer, but you're a digital artist, can you do the prototype of your art, digital art book and publish on your platform?
Yes, sure. If you have a concept, whoever who has a concept and idea and necessity to make physically presented work, of course. You can apply, you can contact me, you can, you can contact Bookilab Instagram, for example, or website, and we will find the best solution.
Thank you.
Yes, so I would repeat, we're not making books just to make a book. If there is concept and the statement you want to express through the form of the book, you're welcome.
Yeah, no, I'm like working on a game that there's if you wanna build a good game, you're not just doing game for just the game. You do game for a player, the story and stuff, and it's the similar concept actually.
Yes. So really, everything is possible. I think everything is possible. And yes, we are looking for books. Most of the works are for books, but the artist book is much wider. So, and we are open to all mediums and experiments with the help of our amazing colleagues.
Okay.
Please questions. I know we have